everybody! I'm here today to show you how to take tight turns. This will be a simple driving lesson, so let's get right into the video. Sometimes you're going to have to take a turn, whether it's a right turn or a left turn, that is tight, okay? Sometimes in my common experience where I live, this is where the roadway is winding and you're staying in a lane, okay? So you and another car are both turning at the same time. That's when accidents happen. But if you know how to take tight turns, then it's going to help you. So I'm going to go over 6 simple things that you should do when taking tight turns. Okay, and I'll show you how to take them. Number 1 is to stay centered throughout the turn. Now, some of these are actions and some of these are like tips. So please follow along with me. So as I drive, I'm going to try and take this imaginary tight turn over here. This is an open road, so I have lots of freedom to steer however I want. And I'm going to show you this turn that I'm taking up ahead over here. I'm going to stay centered in this lane throughout the entire turn. So I'm looking and I'm steering so that I stay right in the center of the lane throughout the duration of the turn like that. I know it's hard to tell, but the key factor here, and I'll go around this loop, is I want to stay perfectly centered in the lane throughout the entire turn. And as you can see, that involves me holding the steering wheel relatively firmly. I'm not doing much adjusting throughout the turn. You want to stay centered in the lane, in the driving area throughout the turn. So watch as I take this turn, okay? The steering wheel is basically staying in the same position. I'm making little micro adjustments, but really, I'm very comfortable with how much I'm turning the wheel. Number 2 is to get 2 hands on the wheel throughout the entire process. You know, I always tell you should have 2 hands on the wheel as often as possible, but I understand. You'll see me in videos turning like this with 1 hand, okay? You'll see me going like that. So I understand that, yeah, it's natural to steer with 1 hand sometimes. Not during a tight turn. If I'm taking this turn up here and it's tight, 2 hands on the wheel the entire time. Look at how smoothly I can make this turn if I have 2 hands on the wheel the entire time. It is crucial that you keep 2 hands on the wheel throughout the entire turn. It's the only way that you can allow yourself to take a tight turn smoothly. If you steer with 1 hand on the wheel, you're gonna have trouble keeping the wheel steady, and that's what you need during a tight turn. So keep 2 hands on the wheel literally the entire time, okay? I'm gonna pull over here to go over the next point. Number 3 is spatial awareness. So you want to make sure that you're aware spatially of what's going on around your car. So if I go ahead and I take this right turn up ahead, I'm going to take this right turn here. I'm starting centered in the lane. You know, I'm keeping 2 hands on the wheel, but I'm well aware of how much space I have between myself and the curb. So I'm allowing myself to know exactly how much space I have around the car. And this mainly happens through practice. You really need to practice, and that will allow you to have that spatial awareness. As I take this turn, I know exactly how much space I have between my car and the curb, and exactly how much space I have on the other side of the car as well. So you need to develop that spatial awareness. It'll really give you the skills that you need to make sure that you're able to take that tight turn smoothly, okay? Number 4, and this is counterintuitive, is don't go too slow, and I'll tell you why. I'll demonstrate. If I take a turn at a slow speed, a speed that's too slow, what's going to happen is it's going to be hard for me to be consistent with my steering. I'll demonstrate. So if I take this turn right here, I'm going to take it too slow. You're going to see right now. If I take this turn too slow, it's going to be hard for me to consistently steer. I'm going to speed up. There's a car coming over here. But basically, I'm going to be inconsistent. I'm going to be like this if I take it too slow. I won't be smooth. If I take this turn too slow over here, watch as I take this turn way too slow. Look at this. I don't know what I'm doing here. See? I don't know exactly what I'm doing. So in order to take a tight turn, you don't want to go too fast, but you definitely don't want to go too slow. You need to go at least at the pace of the speed that the turn should be taken at. It's obviously that's going to be slower than the speed of driving in a straight line. You got to slow down when you're turning, but however, you still have to make sure that you're taking it at a decent speed. You definitely do not want to be taking that turn too slowly, or it will really mess you up, okay? It's crazy, but it sounds counterintuitive for me to tell you to go you know, regular speed rather than too slow when you're taking a tight turn, but that's just how it is. Number 5 is not too fast. Now here's the thing, when you drive too fast, your tires lose traction with the ground, right? So if I drive too fast, my tires are going to lose traction. That's going to cause me to drift outwards. So let's say I was taking this turn and I was taking it too fast, I'm going to drift outwards. I'll demonstrate right now. The roads are nice and cold, so my tires will slip a bit. I'm going too fast, and I see how I had to counteract that steer right there at the end. My car drifted outwards slightly. Your tires lose traction, so you go towards the outside of the turn. If I'm turning left, I'm gonna go drift outwards towards my right. If I'm turning right too fast, I'm gonna drift outwards towards my left. Check this out. I'll go a little bit too fast here. I'm drifting out. I have to counteract it with the steering there. So the key is not too fast either. Okay, I would rather you go too slow than too fast, but the key here is to drive at the right speed. Last but not least is number 6, which is, and this is probably the most important thing that you can do when taking a tight turn, and that's to look ahead. Now, I don't mean to turn your head completely to the side, and I'll demonstrate. So if I'm taking a tight turn, and I'm turning to the right, I don't mean to look like this as you're turning. That's not looking ahead, that's looking to the side. I mean to look at a 45-degree angle towards the right or the left, depending on which way you're turning. So for instance, if I'm turning right, I would look over here throughout the turn. And then as I completed the turn, I would straighten my head out. If I'm turning left, I would look over here throughout the turn. And then as I completed the turn, I would straighten my head out. So the key there is to look ahead, because it's like when you learn to ride a bike. You know, when my kids were learning to ride a bike, I told them, look where you want the bike to go. Your eyes will tell your brain where to steer with your hands. Your eyes will guide your steering. So if you look ahead in the turn, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to actually complete that turn, okay? And that's basically it. I mean, that's how to take a tight turn. I've gone over a few key factors and a few simple tips that will help you take tight turns. Now, hopefully, you don't have to take many tight turns, because they do increase the likelihood of you getting into an accident or scraping another car or getting into a near accident, but it's probably going to have to happen. You're probably going to have to take some tight turns depending on where you live. And that's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.